and welcome back to UML Operator. In this episode, we're going to talk about layers in our architecture. Very important. We're going to just pick something out of our asset repository, this block diagram right here, and we want to layer these elements in this diagram for visualization, collaboration, and much more. So let's get started. All right, so I've created a blank project, main menu, nothing in it, and something called architecture, building blocks or ABBs, and this is blank, all right? And what we're going to do is we are going to import in the building blocks from our asset repository. And I am going to baseline, and yeah, I think that's, I'm not going to, I probably should strip goods. I'm going to strip global unique IDs, right? So there we go. Let's create a version here, 0, 1, and I'm just going to accept the defaults here. And there we go. It is done. And I have a baseline, right? So there's our architecture building blocks from our asset repository for reuse. All right. The next thing I'm going to do is I am going to clone this structure as a new version. And currently it is version 0.2. We're going to make it 0.3. And we're just going to say ABBs for SBB, solution building blocks. Now I'm going to hit OK. And I am going to place this in the ABBs namespace. All right. So then I'm going to hit OK. And there we go. So I've got ABBs. If I open it up, I have the structure. There are no elements in here. Here's all the elements that we have here right now in this model. Now, when we cloned the structure from this package here to this namespace or package here, you notice the name's the same. We want to rename this, and I'm just going to take the name here from the namespace and give the diagram, copy, paste, the same name. So there we go. Now this one's ABBs, the SBBs, and this is the original. Look at, they look exactly the same. Let's close this one because we want to focus on our original building blocks separate. There are no elements right now in this namespace. So I'll go ahead and minimize that so it's not confusing, and we're focused here. The next thing we're going to do is we're going to go to the Layout tab, and we're going to turn on filters and layers. And there's two different tabs in this window. One is filters and one is layers. And what we want to do is I'm going to create 4 layers. Typically, we might start with 3 layers. You've got your front end, you have your middle layer, then you have your back end layer. We're going to add a 4th layer for our data science and data analytics architecture. Right, so in this window, we want to add some layers. So we're going to add 4, we said. So 1, there's layer 1 by default. It names it for you, layer 2, layer 3, and layer 4. And you can always add more and remove these. What we want to do is we're going to hit function key 2 so we can edit this. And I'm just going to call this front end, all right, or front layer or user layer. Probably should have put layer in there, and then this is middleware, middle layer. I'm going to come back up and edit this one to be consistent, layer. And then we're going to call this backend layer. So function key 2, so I can edit easily backend layer. And then what I want to do is we're going to name this one function key 2 data, data and analytics or data science layer, just to separate out this architecture model that we have right here. All right, so let's start adding our systems, application, elements, whatever these are. I want to start adding the layers. So I'm going to click up here and turn everything off, and I want to focus only on the front end layer. So what I'll do is I'll come up here and I'll pick everything that is a user layer. So internet, agent, CRM, chat, and then, of course, our e-commerce website. So all of these we're going to consider to be the front-end layer. Now up here in my tools, if you mouse over, it tells you add elements to layer. So I select that. And now if I turn this off, those are not showing. I can turn them back on and off. And that's what you can do for the applications as you're adding them to the layers. So let's focus on the middle layer next. So we have middle layer checked, and I'm going to select these elements that are right here, and then I'm going to add them. So now these are added to the middle layer. Cool. We've got 3 more systems or applications to go. Let's go back in. So that's the only thing checked. Make sure you've got the proper layer checked. We're going to select data supply. This is data management. There's a lot going on in that little box right there. And we're going to add that one. Let's make sure, okay, it's removed. Then we have machine learning AI and then our data warehouse data layer. So what I'm going to do now is select the data, whatever I name this layer, and then I'm going to add those. Let me just make sure, there we go. So I can turn them on. I can focus only one I want, turn them off. If I select this, it'll turn everything on. If I select it again, it unchecks everything for us. So now we have a layered architecture diagram. So now this diagram here becomes a very useful diagram model to use in collaboration, because what you can do is you can have a conversation with folks. Let's go over here to filter, and we're going to filter by layer. So as I choose layers, we can have a conversation. It grays out everything else using fade, and we're able to filter out the items that are there. If I go to filters, we have it on fade right now. What I want to do is hide. Then we're going to go back over to layers. And now you're going to have a conversation here by saying, okay, these are middleware, backend, data layer, so on. So you're able to move around depending on what type of filtering you're doing. So here we've got hide, we've got grayscale. You can do it this way. Let's go back to layers again, middleware. So whatever best supports your conversation. The other thing that you can do is that you can create diagram images that can be used in PowerPoint presentations, email conversations, and so on. And so if you want to include everything outside a particular layer, grayed out, that's fine. If you go back over to filters and say, no, I want this particular diagram or model or document image, I want it only to be focused on the elements or the architecture that I have in the image. And if you're familiar with timelines, if we remember, we've had a lot of conversations about timelines. If you go to the Start tab, you go to the Design, you get all these tools, you have timelines. So right now, let's just go to current session. We've got a couple of model images that are here. Let's just look at the last one that was done. Show the snapshot. Here it is right here. We can save this. However, you can save each one of these as a snapshot. Now, once you save the diagram, it now becomes a snapshot. So if I go to snapshot, this is the only thing that we see. And then what we can do is we can right click on this, and then we can save the snapshots. And we might put some dialogue in here. I'm just going to type in front end. There's different tips and tricks. I'll go into that in another video. But if we now go over here to our snapshots and we hit show, we can see that we have a snapshot of just a conversation for front end. And then if you come in here, you can show comments, and then you can see whatever comments or labels that you had put in here. And there's a lot more you can do. Again, I have a video on timelines, but I just wanted to show that. So we're going to go back over to just this view here, and I'm going to bring back up filters and layers, and let's just go ahead and check everything back on. Now, a very important note, and this is where some modelers get mixed up, and that is you're layering at the diagram level, right? For only this diagram. If I go back to our original model, let's go back to browser, let's go to ABBs, let's go to our ABB to SBB diagram. Remember, these are the same elements that have been brought over from our original block diagram import. So these elements are in this namespace. There are no elements in this namespace. So the layering does not apply. When I go to this diagram, we have not layered here. This gives you the ability to clone a structure and then create different model views, layers within your architecture for different collaborations, different conversations, different constructions is where I was going to go, and so on. So this, you can see as soon as I go to the diagram, I get all of the layering tooling. If I go to this diagram, I don't have any. I can create other layers for other conversations. So very important to remember that layering is at the diagram level only. All right, we're going to wrap up now. I hope this video session was helpful for you. We talked a lot about layering class elements or objects, but you can layer anything. Here we've got requirements, and you can come in and say, hey, I want to see user requirements, service requirements, data requirements. I want to see use cases. I want to see use cases that are applicable to the user versus use cases that are applicable to services or data. So anything that you want to manage or collaborate on or see and so on. So it just goes on and on forever. So maybe not forever, but you know what I'm saying. I'm very excited about this tool, and I hope you are as well. Sparx Enterprise Architect is still the best tool in my tool belt and can do just about anything I want it to do. And it's data-driven as well as model-driven. So let's get to the next stuff that we're going to be covering. We're very busy right now. Post any questions or concerns down below. I'll try to get back to you as soon as possible. Thanks for all of you that put in a request for, hey, how do you do layered architecture? We see you doing it. And there you go. So until that next episode, happy modeling.